Hello, welcome to another Azure Centric Podcast on our weekly update show about Azure. I'm your host, Marcos Nogueira, and with me we have Andrew Lowes. How are you, Andrew?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for having me. How are you this fine day?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. And before we forget, like we did last episode,
Oh, that
uh,
was embarrassing a
that
little
was
bit, right?
embarrassing. I have to thank a lot, or in this case, thank you a lot that you are listening and that you are viewing, for supporting this channel, for supporting this community, and for all the love that you receive. That is
Hmm.
always overwhelming, and I feel very humble. Me and Andrew, I think I can speak with both of us. Uh,
Definitely.
to speak of all the support that we receive from you guys. So once again, thank you. If I'm using this as a plug, don't forget to subscribe. If you are seeing this for the first time, if you are already one of our fan base, love boys or girls, um, uh, please continuing supporters giving your keep smashing that like button and
I heard you get 10 extra HP if you smash it really hard.
yes I
It might be XP. Maybe I was thinking of HP steak sauce or something
now
there.
I just learned this smash the liking button because I was having supper during this week and my kids were watching their YouTube and they say thank you for doing that and don't forget to smash that like button. I say I'm gonna use that. So now it's my turn,
That's
but
good. Yeah. Well, we do get a lot of feedback, and it's really cool, right? Because
yeah, it
it's
is.
there's people from all over the world, and I know we kind of sometimes I think people in our position, and I'm going to just stay local here, you and I, we can take for granted how easy it is to upload this video to YouTube, and then anybody can watch it and consume that worldwide. But to actually see people from all over commenting and saying, "Hey, thanks," and "Oh, I would have missed this," "Thanks for bringing that up in the discussions."
Yes.
It's actually really super encouraging for Marcos and I. We do talk through the week as well. We're not just Azure coworkers. We're also buddies, and we spend a little bit of time
Yes.
chatting just about things and life, and it's really nice when
It
we
is.
can kind of say, "Oh, hey, did you see such and such comment on the blog or on the
Yes.
YouTube site?" And it's really cool because we talk about it and we really appreciate it. It warms our
Absolutely.
hearts, and
Completely.
we truly mean that.
Completely, and I could not be more in agree with you as usually. But yes, it humbles myself. Like, it's not on YouTube. It's on the other channels as well. Like especially the podcast on the audio podcast. Um, we have a tremendous feedback for them as well, and I still receive emails and private messages in all of that. It's really humble moment just to see that we are able to help someone. Like you said, if we are able to help just one per
Mhm.
week, it's our goal.
Absolutely,
We
it's
are
all.
helping more in this case, but that's even better.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, there's lots of subscribers and viewers, and
Yeah,
I don't know what the right words are, but there's lots of people, and I think it's really awesome.
it
It
is.
makes it fun, right? It makes it fun for us.
It makes
So
totally fun.
I think we had a really heavy week this week, not for articles, but just
Heavy on work, yes, I have to agree. Although on Azure World, in this case, it was a pretty light week, we have to say.
it's quality, not quantity this week, right?
Exactly. That's a very good point. Although we have a very mouthful kind of uh, updates, let's go this way, right?
Yep, yep, that's right.
And
So
and we
maybe
are
I'll call
build,
that one out.
yeah,
Yeah. So let's say the theme this week is going to be the triple P.
yes, We are not disclosing anything more, so you still have to see it the rest of the episode. But it's going to be the triple P, and we have a fun thing at the end. So please stick to the episode today, and you will have a lot of fun. It's not because it's just me and Andrew. It's because we are recording on daytime, which is
There
now
is sunshine out. It's going to be trouble, folks.
trouble, folks. So don't expect anything else besides trouble. And now is going to be a little bit challenging recording this during the night when we in Alberta are going through the longest days. So our light is going to like probably close to 10:30ish, some kind PM. So
Yep,
it's going to
yep.
be
I think
really
we have
difficult.
like what 6 weeks or something like that until it's the longest day of the year.
Yeah, probably
And
something like
then
that.
yeah, it's like 10:30 at night. It's sunny until, and it's good, but it's bad because
Yeah.
we tend to get into a rhythm as humans, and we think, okay, so it's starting to get a little bit dark, so I better stop working and maybe get outside and cut the grass or do some chores, do some other things. And then all of a sudden it's like 9 o'clock at night and you're still at the desk going,
I
oh,
just got an idea. What about if we create tags for ourselves and create a run boot automation to just shut down automatically for the tag? You like
I
that?
kind of like the idea. I'm just not sure it would work.
Yeah. The problem is where we're going to place those tags and how we can make, in this case, Azure Automation read those tags to shut us down. But that's okay. Let's not deviate anymore from here. Let's roll, in this case, the intro. Let's jump to the first update. That okay?
Absolutely.
Let's go ahead. So welcome back. And the first update for this week is announcing general availability of the new M-series Msv2 Mdsv2 Medium Memory VMs for memory optimized workloads.
Whew, good job.
Ooh, I think I read the book with this title.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister week, that's for sure. So this one's cool because it's our good friend Sap Hannah, right?
Always driving these M series, right?
You betcha. So yeah, the M series is really geared for memory optimized for SAP HANA consumption.
Yeah.
And this series, the new isolated VM sizes, has 192 virtual CPUs and 4 terabytes of memory. Can you imagine?
Yeah. 4 terabytes of memory.
That's almost as powerful as your Intel NUC, I heard, right?
No, as my iPhone in this case, yeah. Exactly. So
it's true, but these are really optimized machines made
completely
to run the SQL hackathon, right, and SAP HANA.
Yeah.
And it's purpose driven, so they're made for the SAP HANA certification and to work with SAP workloads. So it's a really good release, and it's really cool to see Microsoft still being able to release new and upgraded hardware right now.
Yeah.
Because I think, as we're all aware, worldwide we have lots of let's call them supply chain challenges with computer hardware right now. A lot of manufacturing is done in Asia, and they've been hit hard for the last year, like all of us have, with different pandemic problems. And a lot of parts manufacturing has either ceased or is much, much slower.
Absolutely.
Right? And the fact that Microsoft is able to manage their supply chain and still make these upgrades, I think, is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. But one of the key features, or there are a couple of key features that I like about this new M series. First of all, they mentioned that this is the medium memory VMs. Although we are talking about having 4 terabytes,
That's
Medium.
pretty scary, right?
That's pretty scary, right? But that's the part. But what I like about these new VMs is they are running the new Cascade Lake
Mm,
architecture of Intel Xeon Platinum. In this case, the model is the 8280. If you are
yeah.
a geek like me and Andrew, right? Which is offering 20% more performance
Okay.
compared with the previous version. So
Yeah,
it's
and
not
it's
only
not just
memory.
faster though, right?
Yes,
It's actually more energy efficient as well. So it
exactly.
uses less electricity and cooling
Yeah.
and gives you more performance.
For us, we don't care about that because that is the bill that Microsoft have to flip regarding
Well, a little
that.
bit, right? Because we got to pay the bill eventually, but
True. But we care about the environment. And that is completely true. Although you mentioned 190 CPUs with 4 terabytes.
Mm,
But with the intermediate option, you can scale up to 416 CPUs on the VM size.
yep,
So
that
192, if
is
it's not enough,
absolutely mental.
yeah.
Like, did you like when you think about when you were like taking computer courses and you were first learning about technology through schooling and you were learning about hardware? I remember learning about computer hardware, and let me tell you, there was no such thing as 416 CPUs to a VM.
Man, I remember when hyper-threading was
Yep,
coming into play, and
it was
I was
brand new.
so excited to have two CPUs that, in this case, two logical CPUs, not two CPUs,
Yep,
two logical CPUs that even at that time they didn't have the OS able to handle those. So you will see those coming on the task manager, and they were about the same, but was cool to see those, right? When the,
absolutely. Yeah, and you could see the each core.
each core
And now
coming,
there's so many cores. When you use Task Manager on one of these server, like on a server OS in Windows, for
yeah,
example, and you look at the virtual CPUs, it scrolls across many
completely,
screens.
completely.
It's crazy. Yeah. So it's really cool to think about such rapid advancement in a short period of time.
It is, it is.
I'm not trying to detract from the awesome M-series upgrades. I'm just a little bit marveling at the pace of hardware technology still accelerating so fast for its
Yeah,
advancements.
yeah, completely. And it's like 416 vCPUs available on one machine. It's unbelievable what we can do right now regarding that. But that
So,
it's not the only
you're
one.
telling me I should be able to print an Adobe PDF within 30 minutes then?
No, you should able to play Tetris in this case and be able to click on the mouse before the object or whatever it is comes to the last line.
What was the demo that Mr. Mark Russinovich did not that long ago? I think like 6 months ago, he had like some beastly VM in
Oh, he create the
Azure,
Azure
and he was
logo.
like, "I loaded Minesweeper."
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. The cool thing is on the memory heap, it creates all the things um, to doing that.
Mhm.
So yeah. So and he
Well,
put
actually,
his
while we're on this diversion of Mr. Rusinovich's brain and some of the little tools that he creates when we think of sysinternals, right? That's really one
yeah.
of the places I want to say that he's made an immense mark is sysinternals, right? So
Who
there was
did
a
the
new
mark?
version.
Mark?
Hmm?
Who did the mark? Mark Rusinovich?
Yeah, Mark made a mark. This is true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, just double checking.
You had me thinking there, like, oh, what name did I say?
Okay.
Sorry,
That
folks. It's sunshine time.
it is,
But
it is.
anyways,
But
so
we warn everyone ahead of
yeah,
this.
it's true. We did. Yeah, there was a warning at the start.
Exactly.
So please don't write with your complaints. Send them care of Marcos Nogueira.
Exactly.
But yeah, so sysinternals did a release this week So when this releases on Monday morning, we're going to say last week that there was some huge advancements.
Yes.
So I really want to encourage all of our listeners and watchers and users that are kind of consuming this to go and check out sysinternals and check out the new versions, because it's made more for modern compute at scale than previous versions.
Yeah.
And there's some cool like Windows Virtual Desktop kind of tidbits in there. So I'm not gonna like give away the prize, but leave your feedback with sysinternals team for those tools as well, because like all teams at Microsoft, they actually read and listen to your feedback.
Yeah.
And they need your feedback to help improve the tools, to give us what we need as
Absolutely.
administrators and users.
Absolutely. But this is not the only update regarding VMs. The next one that we have is the Azure Virtual Machine DCsv2-series is now available in public preview for Azure Government. And oh my God, I spoke with one of my friends at Azure Government. They were waiting for this a long time.
Yeah. So it's a big power upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Azure Government is always, in case somebody's not aware, Azure Government is always quite a few steps behind
Yes.
the public data center, which is the Azure that we kind of know and love.
Yeah.
So Azure Government has to be much more secure, first of all, but also much more stable. So it means that instead of being on the cutting edge, they're a couple of blades behind.
Yes.
And they take it a little bit of a slower pace for upgrading and advancing, because it has to be very methodical. And a lot of governments worldwide have not unique, but kind of different in the sense that they are almost always dealing with legacy software, because they're always trying to stretch out and maximize their spending and not constantly upgrade. They want to build for the future and then run it as long as they can to maximize their tax dollar spending. And that's a worldwide thing. It's not anything unique to any one area, right? So that's why these upgrades are a little bit slower to come to our government tenants with Azure, right?
Absolutely. And it's not only that, this particular, what they were looking at this series is because inside of this series comes one particular point that they were looking for. That is the Intel Xeon E2288G. That is coming with Intel Software Guard extensions, the SSG technology that allows them to have what we've been talking about here about the trust, in this case, the trust platform, and
That's right.
be able to have what's called the Azure Attestation Service to reinforce the confidential computing that they require. So
That's
this
right,
was
yeah.
available on the Azure Commercial, and now is available on Azure Government. So for them, it's going to be even huge. It's the power of that series, yes, the DCsv2 series, but is also the part of the trust and the not forgot. It's about the cloud.
SGX for Software Guard
Yes.
extension, and it enables Azure Attestation Service
Yeah.
to run the Trusted Execution Environments, or TEEs, Ts,
Exactly.
right? A lot of acronyms and things in there, but really at the end of the day, it's secure computing.
Yeah.
And
Confidential computing in this case.
Yeah, and
that's the word that I was looking for. So allows them.
We don't want to downplay anything with that either. We want to make sure
Yes.
that all of that government data, and certainly yours and mine personal data with our government experts, is properly treated. And that means it's encrypted end to end. And that's really what the Azure Attestation Platform is about, right?
Yeah.
Is security and monitoring of that security and making sure everything's secure, both on the hardware and on the software platforms.
Absolutely. So it's a very good days for them. They will able to use that very, very soon. It's already available. It's in preview in this case, so it's going to be soon available for them so that they can use it. The next one that we want to talk is the general availability of application gateway URL rewrite.
Woohoo! I just want to say that.
Yeah. Why are you so happy then? Explain to our
Yes,
listeners.
well, URL rewrites has been kind of a what do we want to say here? A sticky wicket with app gateways, right? It's been a feature that's been in preview. I want to say what feels like forever, but we really needed to get it out into general release. So now it's finally in GA, and we can rewrite the URL of some client requests that are based on matching one or more conditions. So we can now use conditional rewrites of URLs. And that's a big deal for a lot of applications. It's going to add a huge amount of flexibility. And it's also going to enable many more apps to be migrated to Azure IaaS and PaaS systems, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And allow us in this case to just hide some of that complexity that you have inside of it and make it simple for outside, and also to create some kind more, if you want to try to bypass that, the application gateway, and try to be a naughty boy, let's go this way,
Exactly.
to not be able to go through outside, because you really need to know what is the URL in this case. So pretty good update for this week. There is a lot of things that this will enable, but basically it's more on those importing scenarios, like you mentioned, that allow the path based on routing for querying, in this case for host friendly URLs. That's the part that I really see the value of this, and it's coming in GA. So folks and friends and listeners, you can use this in production right now. Just
It's
want to
true.
say,
It's true. So I think we're at that special moment in our broadcast where you get to introduce
no, you do, you
the
do.
big limelight
Yeah,
star, right?
yeah,
Oh, I have to introduce. I have to say the tongue twister. Okay,
yeah.
so it's the triple threat of the Purview public preview. The Azure Purview resource set pattern rules is available in public preview.
Of Azure Preview.
Whew.
Yes,
Yes,
the
of Azure
triple
Preview.
P is here. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go back to this. This is, we just bring this update, to be very honest, because of the name, because we are able to say public preview of Azure Purview, because
Absolutely.
because this is a database related one. Okay.
It is. It's a little bit on the edge of
Yes,
what we normally talk about, but Purview is a really cool service, right?
it
So
is.
as it's maturing and growing, because governance is just so important, right? It's one of the things that a lot of organizations kind of say, yes, we need to do it, but they never really make it a priority
Yeah,
until there's a bunch of problems that they have to deal with.
yeah,
And then, of course, it is a priority. And if your organization is facing that kind of challenge, feel free to hit up Marcos or myself
yeah.
on
Absolutely.
Twitter.
Absolutely. But what I like about the, and the reason that we bring this is, now with this public preview, okay, you can scan for patterns, in this case of your data, on something like, for example, storage accounts that we
That's
heavily
right.
use. So the good thing about this service is incorporated inside of what's called the Azure governance, kind of, let's call it, it's not a suite, but it's a kind of a tool, a combination of tools. And this one is one of the main reasons to just doing that on, in this case, more on the data governance than anything else, because this is a service that will grab those patterns that you want to implement, in this case the rules that you want to do it, and will basically report back what is the deviation from those rules that you want to see it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things that really caught our eye was the fact that you can do it on blob storage and Azure files. Not to overlook it, of course,
Yes.
Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 to be specific, but
Yeah.
the ones that really stood out for me were the blob and the file
Yes.
storage,
And
because that's a lot of data for many companies, right? Especially in blob storage, they're going to cold tier things, and you can look for data that maybe doesn't belong, or data that needs to be removed from a project, for example, that is at the age where it needs to be removed from your storage now. Things like that, right? So there's all kinds of different ways we can apply this governance technology. But Purview, despite the fact that it is in preview, is pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. Although although I will let you go on this, it's not the only one. Look at this.
One more.
Public one more. Public preview of Azure Purview is now available in UK South and Australia East region. So all of this triple P magic is extending across the world.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. So, governance has been, I think, one of the areas that we've seen a lot of different developments and releases happening in the last, I want to say, few months. But this one's actually, we just kind of beat this one up a little bit in the last one. We joke around a lot, but it's because we actually like these services and features.
Yeah.
And Purview is one of the newer services. So as it continues to grow, they're releasing these new features and starting to release them into all the different regions. So it's really cool. UK South and Australia East, right? Yep.
Yeah, Australia East region. They have this in preview. I already make a mistake.
Well, now I have a question for you before you go to the next article, because I want to ask, is the preview of Purview in Australia East, does the Purview cover the preview for Perth?
Or
I am
Portsmouth in
so
UK.
sorry to all of our listeners and viewers right now.
So what about in the preview of Purview in Portsmouth?
He's outdone me. That's true.
Because it's in UK South. I don't know if Perth is in Australia East, right?
I actually don't know. My Australian geography is certainly needs improvement category, I would say.
It's in preview. You are in this case, right?
Definitely, yeah, private preview right now.
Yeah, we warn you guys. Just to let you know, in this case, we warn you. So if you come to this place and to this time, I'm going to just ask to subscribe if you want to see more jokes, or in this case, or more funny mouth twists or tongue twists. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and listen to all of our bad jokes. I have to say. Moving to the next public preview announcement.
It's a
Okay,
full-time job to keep me on the rails, folks. It's a full-time job, please.
we have public preview of enhancement to encryption using customer managed keys for Azure Backup.
Yeah, and this is a really good one, very positive, right?
Yes.
Even though it is in public preview, so don't use it in production, but using the customer managed keys in your backup, because it's available now in many types of storage, is more of a compliance thing, right? So certain organizations are going to have compliance kind of requirements that they need to use their own keys in a key, like Azure Key Vault. They can use an encryption key, and now you can test this in your test environment for Azure Backup as well, right? Using your own encryption keys.
Yes. And a lot of there is a lot of reasons behind this, because a lot of people does, for example, Azure Backup from, I see a lot of organizations doing Azure Backup even on premise, and they
Mhm.
are using, in this case, those files to just send back, in this case, to Azure. And those recoveries sometimes they have these managed keys that they have on premise. Some of the other ones they already make an investment. They have all of these logistical and process from their AHSMs, in this case, investment that they did on prem, and they require those hardware keys, in this case, to be managed hardware based. In this case, a lot of those type of things coming, and they don't want. And last but not least, that I'm seeing a lot is organizations that they don't trust about Azure Key Vault. One of the reasons is because probably it's because they don't understand how you can do this, right? Or not understand is like not leveraging all the features that Azure Key
Well,
Vault have.
exactly, right? It used to be a little bit harder
Yes.
before Azure Key Vault was so awesome. We may take that for granted very easily today because now it just integrates to everything.
Yeah.
But it used to be you had to do the application and backup of your customer managed keys using PowerShell, right?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more complex. A lot of administrators are a little bit wary of doing things just in command line. We have a lot of graphical people now doing admin, and maybe an organization doesn't have the manpower, right? So you don't always have the time as an admin to go and learn all the things that you wish you could,
Yeah.
but you still have to be able to do everything and stay compliant. So Azure Key Vault has really helped to bridge that gap in many ways. So you're right. I kind of at least take Key Vault a bit for granted already because it is so easy to implement.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. But in many ways, I still like to get my hands dirty on command line, as you know. Somebody gave me a deep love of PowerShell, and
I don't know who is that person, but I'm glad that they give to you.
yeah, it's been a good journey, right? For me, but I really hope that all administrators just take even 20 minutes or something to go and learn anything new.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
just fun because you get to
Absolutely.
poke at something and do it in the testing tenant, and you spin it up, you try it, you break something,
Yeah.
you delete it and remove it, and you try again,
But
right?
this update is the very good example of a public preview. First
Hmm.
of all, it's a limited preview. So what
It
does that
is.
mean? Means that please go to in this case to the blog post. There is a form there and there is an email there that you need to fill it, the form, and write to the email in this case, so you can have access to this limit preview. But besides that, that's not the biggest point. Is the public preview is only available on the portal only. So if
That's
you
true.
are using PowerShell and on different ways like Azure automation, or even if you are already have some kind of automation to do this, it will not work as it now. It will may work in the future, but it's not working right now, and it's not available for PowerShell support yet. Again, is yet when it becomes public general availability, we'll have all the support of the normal tools. But this is exactly the example that when we say that we don't advise you in this case to use public preview in production, it's because of that. And the other reason, there are some services that we say that yes, it's okay because it's not related directly to production environment or doesn't affect. This one affects because first of all, you are not able to use your keys besides the portal. So
Hmm.
I know a few admins that they don't like the portal. They are more towards to the PowerShell, which is totally fine. Okay, but you are only to use the portal. Second is this is a Azure backup, so you may run without any issues, right, during production of backing up those. But man, if not Mercy, Murphy is listen, and he will always be one of the guys that is listening to everyone. Okay, when you need to restore something that is in preview, it will always break. I guarantee you. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. And we just have to make sure that anyone who wants to use this is aware, because if the backup fails or stops working or needs to be reconfigured after it goes to GA, then you may have backups that are missing or unencrypted, or whatever happens, right? And maybe it's seamless, maybe it's not, but backups aren't one of those things that you want to mess with these days. Azure Backup goes to great lengths to gap that data that's backed up and make sure it's protected from crypto viruses and all of the bad things, and even human error with soft delete and everything, right? So we just have to be a little cautious not to throw the keys away, so to speak, in this one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So one of the things that I love about these weeks, Marcos, where it's a little bit, shall we say, light on the number of articles, is first of all, I get to be a little bit more talkative
Yeah.
with different things. We can digress into different subjects, but we can also pull from Azure Blog something that's a little bit of a treat for all of us that love Azure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And a kind of a challenge that everyone likes it. So I give you the floor for you in this case.
Okay, so from the Azure blog, fresh off the press, is Azure Trivia is back for this year, and this video will release on Monday, April 26th. So today is the start of this contest. So how you can play is check out this blog post on azure.microsoft.com on the Azure blog. The links are all right in there. You can go to, I think it's twitter.com/Azure,
Yeah.
and there's entry there as well, right?
Yeah. There is an hashtag that you need to find, that is hashtag Azure Trivia, with the question. And basically, what you need to do is to go, in this case, and solve all of those challenges that Azure basically will send during that, and you can win. So it's going to be, how long it will be in this case? A few weeks, right?
I think it runs for 4 weeks,
4 weeks.
if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
four
I
weeks.
might be wrong. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But it is open, so there's some restrictions. So it is only open to U.S. residents in the 50 contiguous states for the prize. However, in past things, Microsoft, they don't always stay. How do we want to say this? It's not always as rigid as they say.
Yes,
Sometimes they're very gracious, and they might mail you an envelope or something, right?
exactly.
So in this case, they're giving away 10 IoT dev kits each week for a total of 40 kits. But it's not just about the prize, right? It's a little bit about some street cred when you go into work the next morning and you
It's
can
all
say to,
about the Brab rights.
yeah, just a little bit, right?
Yes, I'm the
So,
winner of the Azure Trivia. I am. Yes,
uh,
yes.
well, I feel some ties coming on here, but okay. All right, we'll let you brag for this episode.
But
So it's a little bit of a treat, right?
it
So
is.
in this beautiful springtime, and I say that because our Alberta weather's been just ridiculous. Snowstorm again today. I mean, come on.
Yeah, like
Can't be
yesterday
capable,
was
man.
like 18 degrees Celsius. right?
Yep.
And now it's -1 and it's snowing. Tomorrow is
Yeah.
going to be another 20 degrees, and then the day after is going to be -2. So it's kind of, I think they are playing with the, in this case, St. Peter is playing with the knob, is having too
Oh
much
my
fun,
gosh.
I have to
You
say.
know what? That's so true. Yeah, somebody's just like hot, cold, hot, cold. It's tough because, we want to get outside. It's been winter. We want to do things. So I think Azure Trivia comes at a good time
It does.
because it's a beautiful distraction from the ups and downs of daily life and bad weather.
It is, and then you can even test it. And I highly recommend you, if you are when you listen to this, to go to the Azure Learning Resources. And now
Mm.
it's my time to just say it. Go to Microsoft Learn, okay, uh, to boost your problem-solving skills by taking a few on the first days, seeing what kind of challenges is, because every single day for the past 4 weeks, I think they will announce the winner. So they will have 40 winners. It's 10 per week that they are doing that. So in this case, it's more than one day, more than one per day. They will announce the winners, and all the information it's on the Azure blog post. So it's highly
Absolutely. Yeah,
recommended
it's
you
an
to visit.
amazing little gem that was hiding amongst our feed
Yes.
this week, right?
Yes, we discovered this directly out of the magic of automation.
That's true. Azure Automation has taught us about the Azure contest. So,
Exactly.
yes, enjoy. And I just want to say, I think even though it was a light week for the number of articles, we actually had some really cool content.
Yes.
I think one of my favorite ones was the government, the hardware upgrade,
Yes.
because I think that it's really important that we try to support all of those different organizations within our governments and make sure that they continue to move forwards as well. So it's really
Absolutely.
cool to see new hardware coming in both in public but in the government tenants as well, despite all of the challenges in the world around us.
Absolutely. And with that, with this trivia, we come to the end of our podcast this week. Our episode is a little bit shorter than usual, which is okay because we need to enjoy the outside as well. And we need to enjoy it, our families, and stay safe. So, once again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like button. Exactly, smash it, the like button. Don't forget to just continuing spreading that love that you all have for this show. Me and Andrew, we really appreciate that, and we count with you next week. Any last words in this case, Andrew?
Just I want to echo what you said. Thank you so much to all of our viewers and listeners. Yeah, leave a comment, and we provide a money back guarantee. Marcos will reply to all posts on the YouTube
Yes.
channel and on Twitter, or your money back.
Exactly. It's guaranteed. It's like 30 days money back guaranteed. That's absolutely sure about that.
Guaranteed fresh. That's right.
Exactly. So I hope I can see you next week. For this week, we are going to be off for the weekend in this case. And bye.